Good evening, North Kingstown. I'm Alex Issa alongside the former stat guy and now current color commentator Charlie Marshall. He is in the booth tonight replacing a sick Scott Andrews, who I'm sure is at home watching. And we are bringing you NK Skippers basketball on NK18, the Skippers Sports Network. And Charlie, we got a couple of undefeated teams in Division One here about to battle tonight. And what are a couple of your keys to the game?
Keys to the game are EG. They are constantly shooting three-pointers. They're almost like the West Virginia team of the past few years. You also have to look at the Sturtle matchup because they're both great players. Great players, but Sturtle right now has a high ankle sprain, so we have to look at that. And also, their defense is they have a 2-3 defense, and their rebounding is sometimes suspect at best.
So we're going to look for NK to probably come out in a man-to-man because they can shoot threes over the zone the whole day probably, right?
Yes, but sometimes when the 2-3 zone collapses, they leave open looks for our shooters like Medeiros and Kenny. So we have to look for those looks all night.
And NK with a lot of momentum right now. The Skippers were up in Oyster River, New Hampshire. I'm sure we've all been there this past weekend.
I sure have.
We know you have, Charlie. And they won a big tournament up there against a couple of teams that never played before. And they defeated the hometown Oyster River team in the championship in triple overtime. A lot of buzzer beaters in that game that came down to the final buzzer. And they won. So we'll see if this momentum carries over tonight, Charlie.
Yeah, I hope the momentum really plays for the Skippers.
Should be a good one, and I would like to be nowhere else in the world than with you right now.
Thank you so much, Alex.
High school and your hometown skipper. And now let's meet the starting lineups. First, for the visitors from Exeter West Greenwich High School. At guard, co-captain, 6'1" senior, number 12, Pat Sturtle. At forward, a 6'1" junior, number 20, Teddy Sanford. At guard, a 6'1" senior, co-captain, number 21, David Storty. At guard, a 5'8" senior, number 31, Dan Lennon. And at center, a 6'3" senior, number 32, Ben Mitzman. Our bench is coached by Chris Cobain, assistant coach Greg James. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the starting lineup for your hometown skipper. At guard, a 5'10" senior, captain number 3, Mason Kenny. At forward, 6'4" senior, captain number 21, Will Smiley. At center, 6'4" senior, number 22, Brad Peterson. Guard, a 6' senior, number 25, Captain Nate Izzo. And at forward, a 6'5" junior, number 40, Jamal Horn. Skippers coached by Aaron Thomas, assistant coaches Kevin Gormley and Chris Hardy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise as we honor America with playing the national anthem.
Twilight last gleaming through
And we're back at Lenore A. Cranston Gymnasium with your starting lineups. It's going to be Izzo, Smiley, Horn, Peterson, and Kenny for the skippers. Sturtle, Sanford, Storty, Lennon, and Mitzman for the Scarlet Knights. And the opening tip goes to the Knights.
Oh, they're attacking really quick.
By Nate. Izzo with Kenny. And look for Mason to really try and run things today as they're going to try and attack the EWG defense early. And it's out of bounds. That's Lennon.
That was a great steal by Lennon. It really
A lot of quick hands early here for both sides of the ball. And Kenny's going to set it up. Coming out in a half-court trap, Charlie. What do you think about that?
well, in their tape against SK, I noticed that they only ran a 2-3 really
Up and
early.
in by Peterson. Nice move.
They ran a
Smiley,
2-3.
sorry.
So they're changing up a bit for this game. Maybe they think NK's faster than SK.
We've noticed this year that the skippers have had a great knack at breaking the press. And travel by Storty. We're going to hear a lot about Storty and Sturtle, the two S's for EWG tonight. And Storty early with a mistake.
Storty is a good player. He just got to get his nerves out.
And both teams have a lot of talent. I think it's going to come down to who controls the ball and doesn't turn the ball over. Horn looks to get fouled, didn't. Izzo collects. And it's going to be long. The Red Mountain to rebound right back at it, Charlie, right where he left off.
Great performance last time against the SK. Great performance.
Up at Oyster River as well.
That looked like a kick ball to me.
And the Scarlet Knights having trouble holding on to the basketball early. And Izzo, as usual, guarding the best player on the other team, and he's going to have his hands full with David Storty tonight.
I think Izzo has a little bit more speed than Storty. I think he'll be fine with the matchup.
Storty is physically bigger than him, though.
I think speed's the main factor tonight.
And Izzo has plenty of that. And nice take by Kenny. They're calling the foul on the floor.
That foul was on.
So a couple guys are giving it to Teddy Sanford. It's first. Horn just imposing his will up and in. He scores.
That was a great take by Jamel. Great take. If you look at the defense, it looks that Will's up top when he's usually playing down low. That's definitely new for this game.
And they're playing man. I guess they're just looking to that's a deep three. You'll see a lot of that, and that's Harrington for three.
That's their important style. They're like West Virginia. They all shoot threes. Against SK, their first 8 shots were threes.
And there you go. Sturtle right off the bat, hitting a long three, giving the Knights the early lead. Cutting the skipper lead to 1. Good pass by Izzo into Peterson. Up
Great.
and in by Big Red. Izzo's passing, especially in the inbounds, is really improved. Foul on the floor. It's going to be on Horn, his first.
I think EWG's important player off the bench must be Stevie Harrington. You know, we played with him back in the day.
Back in the days, back in the middle school glory days, we saw a lot of Stevie Harrington, but they've got other shooters now. It's Sturtle again.
West Virginia, baby. That's Kevin Pittsnoggle right there.
I don't know if many of our viewers are going to get that reference, but I appreciate it. Sure, I'm a big college basketball guy. And Sturtle's got a quick release. Kenny looking to answer. No, rims out.
Good try by
Storty
Nate.
with a good rebound, looking to push. He's got Sturtle if he wants him, takes it himself, and knocked away cleanly. He'll stay here. The Knights retain. Izzo will mark the inbounds. The skipper's staying in the man-to-man, and I imagine we'll see a lot of that tonight. Good trap in the corner. Good play by
good
Sturtle.
play.
Throw it off Izzo's leg. Heady play by Sturtle. You cannot underestimate the 2 S's for EWD, Chuck.
It's pretty much tonight. That's the only thing that's going on right now. I haven't seen many other players touch the ball besides the 2
Would
S's.
you say they're a 2-man team? Is
Yes.
that going too far?
No, that is not. Against SK, they pretty much ran the show. If the 2 S's were off, the whole team was off.
And I think that has to give NK an advantage because they are a team that's balanced and all 5 guys can contribute whenever they're on the floor. So if you're looking to holding up in the long run and being able to spread out your options, I think that the skippers definitely have the advantage there.
I definitely agree with that point. I definitely agree.
As long as you're agreeing with me, I'm happy, Chuck.
I think we just need to shut down both of the S's, Storty and Sturtle.
And for those of you keeping score at home, Izzo's sleeve is back and looking better than ever. And for those of you who missed it, up in New Hampshire, he was sporting a black sleeve, which we will never see here at home because we wear white jerseys here. But I hear it was quite the look.
Very
I hear Iverson
interesting.
was calling for the same one that he had.
Interesting
And a
change.
horn on the break. We could see fireworks. Look to travel.
Yes.
And he got the call. And did he travel? He did.
Yes, he did.
And I thought it was a call pro NK by the reaction, but we have a lot of Scarlet Knight fans on hand here tonight, Chuck.
That was a very
That
big.
won't do.
That was very loud for Scarlet Knight
I think we
supporters.
might have had some confused Skippers fans thinking it was a call for us too. Might have added to the noise. That's Mitzman for the Knights inside, 6'3". He's pretty much their only size,
Yeah, and he's gonna face Jamel and Brad tonight, and
who both have an inch on him at least. And you've got their only other size is Storty and Sturtle at 6'1", and they're both going to be on the perimeter for most of the game. So
I mean, what I saw, EWG was not much of a rebounding team, so I think we have the advantage there.
yeah, on paper this looks to be like the Skippers match up well with the Knights, but the games aren't played on paper. Chuck, you know it better than anyone.
That is true. Look at the Chaminade, Virginia.
You with your college basketball references. Where is Ralph Sampson when we need him?
That was a good pass.
And a rushed take by Sturtle, collected by Kenny. He's fouled. Sturtle hits the deck, checks the mouth for blood. He appears to be all right.
Sturtle has 6 early, only 6 points for the EWG Knights.
And Sturtle has also been battling a high right ankle sprain this season, but last game was held to 6 points. And looks to improve today. They're not going to take him out of the lineup. He is far too valuable.
Doesn't look like he's affecting him too much. He hit
Looks
two
too
early threes.
Yep. Lopez into the game.
Lopez,
And O'Connor as well, replacing Izzo
the sleeve.
and Smiley. The sleeve takes a rest. Lopez looks to drive, tipped away. Lennon in transition, taken back, and that'll be a kick ball. Kick ball. It's going to be
Ooh.
Scarlet Knight basketball.
It looked like the Knights hit that ball. I don't know where that call came from.
They call it the skip and the skipper. The kick on the skippers.
Going to
Say
play
that 10
skip to
times
my Lou
fast.
there,
I will
sir?
not say that 10 times fast. I'll be lucky to get away with saying that 3 times fast. My tongue is already tied.
Dom Anderson enters the game, taking on Brad Peterson.
And in the spirit of bowl season, appropriate to see Anderson, who is our favorite nose tackle on the basketball court. Nice
Oh,
take by
nice
Storty,
take.
up and in. And a tie up and under far too easily, piercing through the skipper defense, and it's a timeout. What have you seen early out of EG? That
EWG?
We're both calling them EG. We're just used to them being the town next to
Avengers.
us, but they are not in our division.
But what I see most.
And we'll be back here. It's an early 8-6 Scarlet Knight lead.
Anderson, Jamel Horn, and Mason Kenny, and Mason is now bringing up the basketball. Looks like they're playing a 2-2-1 half-court press. Cord with the ball, Cord passes it out to J.O. Oh, tip pass to Jamel, great pass. Oh, he puts it up. Oh, great shot by Jamel, great shot. That's 4 for Jamel early.
And we know the horn factor. We know how often the skippers like to blare the horn. Storty to the hole, he's fouled.
I didn't see this a lot in the SK game. Storty is really taking it hard to the hole.
And a lot of times when Horn scores early, the skippers tend to start forcing it to him. We want to try and avoid that, Charlie. And I mean, you want your offense to run through Horn, but at the same time, you don't want to force it and turn the ball over. So we'll see if they can spread the ball around a little bit.
If they do force the horn, though, it could help because they're collapsing defense, their collapsing zone defense sometimes collapse too greatly and leaves open shots outside for our perimeter shooters.
Number 11, Joseph Furl checks into the game for the Scarlet Knights, as well as number 41, Aaron Horribogan. Storty's second free throw is up and good. And a 10-8 lead for the Scarlet Knights with 10:45 to go in the first half.
All 10 points for the EWG Knights have been from Storty or Sturtle.
We've talked about the S factor. We don't need to bring it up again. Shot long by Lopez. Good effort by J.O., but recovered by the Knights. Sturtle, good pass up ahead to Furl. Looked to maybe have traveled. Shot's no good. Gets his own rebound. Out to Storty. Sturtle thought about a 3. And we find ourselves saying Storty and Sturtle a lot here early, Chuck. Horrible just into the game. Gave him a couple steps. Cleaned up by Storty. This is almost a 50-50 Scarlet Knights skipper crowd. The skipper is faithful to get into it. Where's the Black Sea, Charlie?
It's not here tonight. Not a lot of skippers, supporters.
Low tide.
Let's try to make some noise,
Lopez cross court to O'Connor. That was a good pass by Lopez. Cleans it up.
Oh, great pass.
Anderson, up and no good. Collected by Lopez. He's trying to tie the game. He can't. And Furl gets the rebound. Thomas is livid on the sideline. Collected by Horn. Back to Horn. He's fouled hard. And an early 12-8 Scarlet Knight lead with 9:42 to go in this first half.
That was Storty's first.
And we'll keep an eye on his foul count because as this game goes on, that could be a very big factor in how the Knights offense runs. First free throw is up and good by Horn. Izzo and Smiley back in the game, replacing J.O. and Corda Lopez. So our starting lineup with the addition of Anderson and for Peterson is on the floor. And a good job by J.O. and Cord not turning the ball over and taking care of the ball. Horn's second free throw is no good. We talked about Horn's shooting and his extending beyond layups and hitting the mid-range shot. It has to improve for him to really take his game to the next level. Izzo doing a good job on Storty. Good block by Horn. And Horn forced the travel after he blocked the shot. Skipper basketball.
Starting, oh no, excuse me. I thought the starting lineup was coming back in, but instead they take out Jamel.
Jamel did a great job, especially on the defensive end, imposing his will inside. So Big Red, Brad Peterson back in the game, replacing Horn.
Oh, good pass. Need to hold on to that.
Izzo collects underneath. Kenny's gonna set it up. Definitely an advantage of the skippers when they're in the half-court set. Air ball collected by Peterson, then Anderson got pushed, no call. And Furl will bring it up off to Storty. Storty right by Izzo. And looked to be a charge, no call. Anderson looked like he had position, but nonetheless a rebound by the Red Mountain rebound.
That's his third already tonight.
Already his third rebound. Look at you, you're in the booth and you're still being the Secretary of Stat. You do it all.
It's my true love.
And another one of your true loves, clearly college basketball, which you've already brought up probably 20 times, and I'm sure we'll hear much more as the game goes on.
It is a love of mine, yes.
Big Red to the line. He is a love of mine on the basketball court. Dynamic player. From his hair to his defense. Does it all.
Ooh.
Second free throw is no good. A 12-9 Scarlet Knight lead with 8:36 to go in the first half. Izzo into Peterson. Back out to Izzo. Kenny gets a good look to tie the game. No good.
Rebound by Storty.
And you know, while Storty and Sturtle are going to be on the perimeter a lot, they still are going to need them inside to rebound the ball a little bit because, like you said, they are not a good rebounding team. Mitzman's their biggest guy, and he can't do it alone.
They just look reckless out there.
Furl in the game.
As I say they look reckless, they hit a nice shot.
And Furl into the game has taken over the ball handling duties and hits a good jumper early. So let's see what else there's to see out of Joseph Furl. Good take by Big Red, no good. And maybe it's the back-to-school blues, or maybe they're just a little tired out from the Oyster River tournament, but the skippers look a little off early, especially on the offensive end. Charlie, what do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I expect these things to drop for Brad and Jamel and Dom, but maybe the Oyster River game really tired them out. I mean,
like we said, triple overtime.
Oyster River was
David Storty. Speak of the devil, there he is again.
Oyster River was ranked number 2 in New Hampshire for high school basketball, so I probably
I don't know
really.
that's saying much, but about 7 teams up there.
Yeah, but they're 2 though.
I'm not
so
gonna knock on New Hampshire. I'm a born and not raised, but I'm a born New Hampshireite, and I'm not gonna hate on the homeland. So.
Yeah. So they beat
I was
5
bo-
teams if there's only 7.
That's right. I was born in New Hampshire, though, for those of you who actually care. I know you care, Chuck.
I
You've
care
always got
so
my
much.
back.
I always got your back. Oh, great block by Brad.
Zachary Hornoff into the game for the Knights, and he misses up ahead to Pearson. The pass too long by Izzo.
Probably the sleeve.
Don't blame the sleeve ever. And Anderson did a good job playing physical basketball inside. And he takes a
Jamel
rest.
back in.
Thomas, quickly get Jamel back in the game. The Skippers need to establish an inside game early and get the sleeve back where it belongs in the Skippers' hands. Thomas calling out for pressure on the sidelines.
Oh, it looked like he walked to me.
Stevie Harrington into the game for the Scarlet Knights and almost turned the ball over.
No, it was backcourt violation on
And
the
he did turn
on
the
the
ball
Knights,
over.
but it was actually Zachary Hornoff who made the bad pass. Great pass by Izzo. Great
Horn
take
up and
by
in.
Horn.
Horn can just go over anybody whenever he wants, and that is exactly why Jamel Horn needs to play, Charlie.
I agree with that. He already has 7 early.
Shot by Furl is no good. He's not scared to shoot early. Quick trigger finger for him off the bench. Good pass by Kenny up ahead to Big Red up and in.
Timeout EWG.
The Kenny pass hovered through the Scarlet Knight defense and an easy finish for Big Red on the other end. And the Skippers cut the EWG lead to 1 early with 6:02 to go in the first half. And that leads to a Scarlet Knight timeout. And Chuck, what have you seen out of the Scarlet Knights that's contributed to their lead?
Pretty much the 2 S's, really. I mean, out of the 16 points, they are sitting on 13 of them, so they are the main factor tonight.
And you hate to be repetitive, but it's tough not to be when they are essentially a 2-man team. And you can talk about it all you want, but it actually happens. If you're watching this game, you see that their offense revolves around those 2 guys.
Our listeners are going to get tired of hearing those names, but that's what we're going to be saying tonight.
Hopefully the Knights will be tired of the Skippers banging tonight too, Chuck.
Hopefully so.
We'll see.
Hopefully we can send them to
And, rest assured, Skippers fans, the starting lineup is back on the court.
put them to bed tonight.
What do you mean? I'll have you out of a job as quick as we gave you one here, Chuck, if you keep saying stuff like that.
All right, I'll stop. I promise.
I'm just kidding. You can stay as long as you want. Secretary of Stats, goodbye me. You'll have a new nickname every game if you haven't noticed that. And the ball back in Sturtle's hands, running the offense. Back out to Furrow. Alex appears to be backcourt, and it is.
That's the second backcourt in the last 2 possessions for EWG.
That is not taking care of the basketball, and
33. Ben Ritchie enters the game for.
replacing Zachary Hornoff, who had a turnover and
That could hurt them
Didn't
because
do much.
Hornoff's their tallest player.
in terms of size, yeah, him and Mitzman are both standing 6'3", so a lack of size. The Skippers haven't been able to rebound the ball well earlier, so that should hold up with Hornoff out of the game. And Mitzman taking a seat as well. Horn goes up, no call, and Storty will bring it up for the Knights. He's got Furl on one wing, Sturtle on the other. Takes it himself, we'll see a lot of that. Harrington for 3, no good.
Oh, nice rebound by Mason.
Rebound by Kenny, getting inside. This whole Skippers team rebounds. Kenny with an open lane.
Oh, nice
Almost
take,
an
though.
and 1, he'll go to the line for 2. That'll be 2 shots for Kenny.
That was Sturtle's first, so the big S's both have 1.
And as that number grows, as will the worries for the Knights, as they need those guys to pretty much play the entire game for them to have a chance, Chuck.
So, if the 2 S's get into foul trouble, who do you think will take over the scoring duties?
I like what I've seen out of Furl earlier for them. He looks
Furl?
like he's a guy who can shoot well and also handle the ball a little bit.
I like Stevie Harrington a lot. I remember back in the day he was a shooter. I believe he still has that talent.
And also look for a guy like Mitzman, Mitzman and Hornoff, their biggest guys. Maybe if Sturtle and Storty get into foul trouble, I know it's down the line a little bit, but. And speak of
That's
what we're
Storty's
talking
second.
about, there's Storty's second foul, and in comes Mitzman, possibly for Storty. We'll see. Big Red's free throw is up and good, and
That's tied up.
Mitzman in for
Harrington.
your secret weapon.
My secret weapon.
And Peterson's free throw ties the game at 16 with 5:23 to go in the first half. His second free throw is no good, and Storty loses the rebound out of bounds. It'll be Skipper basketball. Exeter inbound as he usually does, and he does a good job with that, controlling the inbounds passes. He's got Smiley on one side.
Oh, great shot.
That was a good pass in by Izzo. It's going to be a foul on Peterson. And Anderson. It's Peterson's second foul, and Anderson checks in right away.
The only problem with that I see is Dom's amazing on the boards, but Dom does not have the offensive talents of Brad. So that
Does anybody?
truth.
Can anyone match the Red Mountain rebound? But, and as Dom Anderson re-enters the NK Skipper
great.
Bowl, starts it. Almost a turnover by the Knights. Kenny was out ahead, but Sturtle retained it. Sturtle.
Oh, geez.
Tough take.
Oh, wow.
And the finish.
Both Storty and Sturtle have 8.
Who's that? Storty and Sturtle. Have you heard about them at all?
No, I've never heard of them. Who do they play for?
I don't know. Kenny with space. Tough take, and it'll be stay Skipper basketball. With 4:35 to go here in the first half, it's an 18-16 Scarlet Knight lead, and just the Skipper's offense just looks a little off.
They do look tired. I bet the tournaments hurt them.
I don't know if you can put it on that or just the lack of rest. While most students got rest, they were playing. I don't know. Good pass, and a finish by Horn. Blare the horn, Chuck.
Jamel has 9 early. Definitely the reason that we're still in this basketball game.
The Skipper's inside game is going to be something they're going to have to turn to, especially if they continue not shoot the ball well. Up ahead to Izzo, and up and in by Nate.
Sometimes you got to wonder if the two S's are doing too much. Because Storty right there tried to create something and lost the ball.
Well, that's a deep three by Sturtle.
Wow.
Maybe you spoke too soon, Chuck.
Maybe
they
I
can do it all. Maybe the S stands for Supermen because they are on fire early, and that's a lead again for the Scarlet Knights at 21-20.
I believe Sturtle's 3 for 3 from behind the arc tonight.
340. He missed one.
Oh, did he?
I believe he's 3 for 4.
3 for 4. It's still impressive with a bad ankle.
I'll take it. Yeah, that ankle injury is non-existent. Nice take by Smiley. No good. Anderson with a bulldog rebound. He gets fouled. Is that appears to be on Storty. If it is, it's his third. He's walking to the bench.
Yes, that is his third. Oh, geez.
Storty's third, and right to the bench he goes. And that is a huge development with 3:26 to go in the first half, and already 3 fouls for David Storty.
This is going to be interesting. Sturtle has to take over now.
And starter Daniel Lennon back in the game to replace Sturtle. And Teddy Sanford also back in the game. And Smiley takes a seat.
Maybe Dom can hit this and tie up the ball game.
O'Connor checks in for Smiley with 3:26 to go in the first half, a 21-20 Scarlet Knight lead.
Oh, great shot by Dom.
And we have a tie ball game. Anderson knocks the game up at the free throw line, 21-all with 3:23 to go in the first half. Lennon taking over the ball handling duties. Looks to Furl. Smiley not pleased on the sideline.
Great rebound by Cord.
Lopez. All 5'9" of them getting in there.
Mason with the ball.
Kenny looks to Horn. Horn passes on the mid-range jumper. Back out to Kenny. Big three on the way. No good.
Great rebound by
rebound
Dom.
Inside. And the Skippers will live and die by the rebound in this game, just as the Knights will live and die by the three. Good shot by Kenny, and there's the lead.
That's Mason's first 2 tonight.
And the lead is back in good hands as Mason Kenny doing what the franchise player does, giving the Skippers a 23-21 lead. Going to the floor for the ball, and it'll be Scarlet Knight basketball.
You got to give him an ISA point right there.
You know what? In lieu of Scotty points tonight, I will hand out ISA points, and that is most certainly an ISA point for Mason Kenny going to the floor hard.
You got to be a little
after he
bit
gives
easier
Skippers
than
the
Scotty. Great call.
lead. What a charge take by Dom Anderson.
That could be Sturtle's third.
And it is his
second.
We jumped the gun.
We jumped the gun.
So
we got
2
excited.
for Sturtle early and 3 for Storty. And the S squared factor with a combined 5 fouls in the first half.
They've already fouled
Look for
out.
that to be a big. Collaboratively, they have fouled out if one half allowed you to foul out. Nice take by Lopez. You're playing math games with my mind. What is this, the beautiful mind? I don't know if this with Russell Crowe. You guys have similar length hair, though.
I appreciate that.
Nice take by Sturtle.
Sturtle has 13.
And even with 2 fouls, still going hard to the hoop, and he'll get a chance for a 3-point play. Trying to cut the Skipper lead to 1. 2:09 to go in the first half, and a 25-23 Skipper lead. And Sturtle's free throw is no good. Good rebound by Horn. Behind the back by Kenny to Lopez. And they're going to call a charge. And
Ryan Eaton checks in, but for who?
I'm imagining for Kenny. Kenny's second foul.
Ryan's a pit bull just like Dom.
Ryan's his own breed.
It's true. It's true.
Ryan's a mutt of just toughness and physicality and going to the floor whenever you need it. Whatever dog that is, Eaton is that.
He'd bleed
and
for this
Eaton's
team.
going to take over and covering the ball, and he's doing a good job.
No.
Lopez steps out for Sturtle.
Great.
And Sturtle's
That has to
second
be
miss from 3.
Dom's at least 6th
Eaton looking to
rebound.
push. Eaton will take it to the hole himself, and he is fouled. Good take by Eaton. Look at Eaton lowering his shoulder and going hard to the basket. Gotta love it, Chuck.
I gotta love the skill that Ryan has really possessed over the summer. He's really greatly improved.
Whatever breed he is, get me one of those. Don't bother with a leash. Let him run wild in the yard.
He looks like a Saluki.
Again, a college basketball reference. Bringing your Southern Illinois Salukis into it. How about they get ranked again before you want to talk about them?
Okay.
Right? Okay. Let's make it personal.
I'm sorry.
All right. And Eaton's first free throw, no good, but a chance to extend the Skipper lead to 3 here with 1:50 to go in the first half. His second free throw is good. Nothing but net for Eaton.
Full court. Interesting.
Full court press. J.O. with the steal. We talk about his playmaking ability. Up and in. A 5-point Skipper lead with 1:40 to go in the first half. And look at J.O. making things happen and down the other way.
Bad pass by Farrell. I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. I know the
bench is on
lob.
their feet. The fans are on their feet. A lot of energy going through Skipper Nation right now, and a timeout by the Scarlet Knights. Good job by the Skippers extending the lead when they had to, and a 5-point lead now, Chuck.
What are you impressed with right now, Is?
I've been impressed with the Skippers' ability to really extend the lead when they have to. We talked about that killer instinct, and how in a lot of their games early this season, they haven't been able to push the lead big when they had to. They did it in the SK game, and they appear to be on the way of doing it again tonight. But a lot of it is going to be them keeping going at Storty, going at Sturtle. If they can keep attacking them fearlessly, get those guys in foul trouble, especially in the first half, then they're going to be in good shape.
I definitely think that's the seed of success right there.
And looking back at your keys to the game, those being carried out right now, what's going on with those? What
Right
have you liked?
on the NK side, I've just liked how they've, even though Sturtle's hit a couple, they're really shutting down the 3-point shot. And the 2-3 zone, they seem to be getting to all the seams. They really are attacking the 2-3. And the rebounding, like I said, is really, it's the important factor, and they really are rebounding better than EWG right now.
Dominating the board so far. And I think another big thing has been Kenny's penetration.
Oh,
Kenny's
yeah.
ability to get to the basket, create space for a couple of their shooters on the outside. And the defense will collapse on Kenny, and he's a good enough passer. He can dish it off to Horn or Peterson inside.
I think
Kenny makes things happen.
I think we have to really appreciate Dom's rebounding right now.
Yep, Don's a truck.
I think he has at least 6 or 7 at the moment.
We have 2 legitimate bulldozers in the game right now. We can start a little construction company with Anderson and Eaton.
Yes, we can.
Anderson, Eaton, and Sons Construction. Sign me up.
Harrington with the ball.
back in the game. And that's a guy you said to look to if Storty and Sturtle go into foul trouble. And they have gone into foul trouble. And there you go. Give that kid a magic 8-ball. Charlie Marshall predicting the future. Did you get a crystal ball for Christmas, Chuck?
Actually, I did. What you get?
I got lots of just holiday cheer, lots of basketball. And a 5-point skipper lead now. 30-25. 45 seconds to go in the first half. Almost lost by Lennon. Furl recovers. This is an extremely rare sight. And there's Furl. I talked about Furl, you talked about Harrington.
Neither of the S's are on the floor right now.
And that's something you rarely see for the Scarlet Knights.
Maybe they're giving Sturtle's ankle a little rest, just so they're going to be both.
Storty with 3 fouls, that's why he's sitting. And Sturtle has 2, and probably the ankle's probably a part of it, but and also 16 seconds to go in the first half. And still, those guys not on the floor, still only a 3-point skipper lead.
These are
but
the
a good job for them to take. They were down by as much as 5. The shot clock went off inappropriately. It wasn't a real buzzer. Out to Lopez, no good. Rebound by Harrington over everybody. Puts it up at the half, no good, and we go to the locker room with a 3-point skipper lead, 30-27 over the Scarlet Knights. And a good job by the skippers getting the lead back when they had to, when they've been trailing by as much as 5 in the first, and it's already a 1-point Scarlet Knight lead. So just out of what you've seen, what do they need to do to adjust that early, Charlie?
I think they need to really attack the collapsing zone, because if they can kick out those shots, they'll get Mason a shot, and Mason's almost automatic when he's open.
I would like to see the skippers play some inside outside and use Kenny's penetration to get open looks in the perimeter.
A 2-1-2. This is a new look for EWG.
Just like that. Pearson off his face accidentally. And Pearson recovers. It'll stay skipper basketball.
Against SK, they played man-to-man in 2-3. The 2-1-2 is a new look.
And they'll be mixing up defenses a lot this game, but they won't be playing a lot of zone. Maybe they will keep staying in zone.
Oh, there you go.
Izzo collects and scores.
Izzo having
points for Izzo, filling it up.
Yeah, a very good night for Nate tonight.
Nate known as a defender, so you see him with 4 points. He's breaking out, but no discredit to Nate. Nate's a good offensive player as well.
Nate is a great basketball player. He's
right.
he's quick athlete. And he's going to BC for baseball.
While we're on the topic of Nate Izzo, he is going to Boston College to play baseball. So
that's really
impressive. Surprise of the community, but definitely a positive surprise, as any skipper success is a success for all of us.
That is true.
So
ACC baseball possibly drafted this year.
We'll see what happens. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, but definitely some high hopes for Nate.
He's a great athlete. Let's always remember that.
And a great kid.
Yes, he is.
We love him. And of course, we love the sleeve.
Yes, we do love the sleeve.
And Kenny looks to set it up. He's got Lennon on him. Both starting lineups on the floor with the addition of number 24, Paul Fulmer, for the Scarlet Knights. Horn wants the ball. They have Horn. Kenny tells him to go. And it's off Smiley's hands. They had Horn. Thomas, unhappy.
It's the first time this year I've seen Thomas.
Unhappy.
First time this year I've seen actually Thomas scream.
Well, you've got Horn wide open for essentially a layup. Kenny called off that pass, went to Smiley, off his hands, out of bounds. How can you not be upset as a coach? You got to execute.
That is true.
Looked like a travel on Fulmer. Back out to Sturtle. He's not scared to shoot. Try to create space. Kenny doing a good job defensively on Sturtle, Chuck. And that's collected by Mittman. No good. Rebound. Smiley. Look to see a lot more of him and Pearson on the glass in the second half. Good move. Kenny collects. Goes up. No call.
Three
Rebound
forced
Fulmer.
Possessions by Mason. 2 bad passes, and then to try to force down the lane.
Mittman using his body on on Horn. No good. Rebound by Pearson. Lopez in the game for the Skippers. Kenny working on Fulmer. He'll go to the line for 2.
Even though Mason drew the foul, that's 4 straight possessions where Mason's tried to force something.
And Fulmer, a swing player for the Scarlet Knights, who also plays JV basketball. So Kenny using that knowledge, going right at him, trying to get to the line, and he does. The Skippers with a 1.32-31 lead here, make it 33-31. 13:04 to go in the second half.
Big factor that they've shut down Mason. That's only his 3rd point.
Yeah, while Storty and Sturtle have been going off the whole game, our star player has been held to 3 points. But Mason contributes in other ways.
That is
Talk about his penetration, his ability to create space. Mason doesn't need to score to impact this basketball game.
He's a great passer. He's a great defender. He's just a great overall player.
He's the real deal, Chuck.
Yes, he is.
Just like a Baby Ruth. He's the real deal.
I can't eat Baby Ruth. I'm allergic to peanuts.
It's too bad. You are allergic to peanuts, unfortunately. It limits your food options a little bit. But something you're not allergic to, basketball.
I
Especially
love
skipper
basketball.
You are not allergic to that, and it's a 34-31 skipper lead with 12:46 to go. Who can be allergic to that? Not even the allergist can diagnose an allergy to that.
If
Everyone loves skippers
the Knights
basketball.
might be allergic to skippers after this game if we win.
Hopefully. Up and in by Kenny. And the Skippers push the lead to 5 just like that after being down 1.
Oh, great steal. Oh,
That Smiley fouled hard. That is a crime how hard Smiley just got fouled.
Daniel Lennon.
He's fouled Smiley hard. Smiley's still trying to walk it off. And Furl, along with Richie, check back into the game for the Scarlet Knights, replacing Mittman.
Do you remember these kids when we used to play back in the day, yes?
I do. When we played back in the NK Town Travel League, we faced EWG. They were our arch rivals.
Oh,
they were our SK. 3 by Lopez is no good. And Thomas barking out signals on the sideline, trying to motivate his players to rebound the basketball. He knows that is their advantage. Ugly shot by Richie. Goes in.
Maybe that's the way he shoots.
Not exactly Michael Jordan form on that one, but nonetheless it works. Good use of the body by Jamel. Up and in.
Jamel's 11's really helping this team out.
That brought the bench to its feet. And a 5-point skipper lead again, 38-33 with 11:50 to go. Richie again scores. And the lead cut back to 3.
Did Storty pick up his 4th foul?
He did not. And that's a travel on Smiley.
No, you'd wonder why, even though he could play a less aggressive game, he'd still be a big factor on this team.
I think with those 3 fouls, they're just still sitting him. He didn't start the second half. Storty did not start the second half.
I'm pretty sure he did. He came out really quickly,
Did
though.
he? He came out right away?
Yeah.
Okay.
Smiley not happy with his play.
himself. With that travel, he was pulled for J.O., but hopefully J.O. can bring a little razzle-dazzle to the table like he always does.
So far, who you've been impressed with on the boards and even with points?
Kenny doing a great job on Sternal. Sternal tries to create space with that through-the-legs crossover dribble, and Kenny not biting.
I asked who are you impressed with. I didn't get an answer. I was a little hurt there, my friend.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. I was in the zone.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Who am I impressed with?
Yes, so far.
How about J.O., the playmaker?
Not a usual score. Oh, and a
who stole the
steal.
basketball? Guess who? J.O. again. Out to Kenny. Big 3 on the way. No good. And it's off. Anderson going down.
Dom has really impressed me tonight on the boards.
Still throwing his body around.
A banger underneath, but tonight he's really impressed me. He just needs to finish those points, and we definitely we'd probably have this game out of reach if Dom could finish a little bit more.
And with that turnover, not a turnover, it's going to stay Scarlet Knight basketball. And a chance to reset with 10:40 to go here in the second half. A 40-35 skipper lead, 3 fouls for the Knights, and no team fouls for the Skippers so far in the second half. And really credit to the Skippers for being able to play aggressive without fouling. Deep 3 by Furl. Thomas wanted to travel. He won't get it. And just like that, a 2-point skipper lead.
So far, I think you're X Factor without the 2 S's. Farrell is outplaying mine.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm not one to brag. I'm not going to say I told you so, but.
Give Harrington time.
All right. I got this job for a reason, Charlie.
That's why I'm the stat guy. That's why I just write down the stats, nothing more.
I'll be comfortably retired at age 20.
I bet you will.
Well, I did not get paid at all. I am currently unemployed, actually.
Didn't you have a job, though? What happened to the
the Inside Scoop Ice Cream Parlor takes a break in the winter. So
Ice
I'm
cream
strapped for
time.
cash right now. If any of you want to donate to the Alex Issa Basketball Foundation, you're welcome to. And The second free throw is good. 41-38, Skipper lead with 10-10 to go in the second half here.
What are your feelings right now on the NK man-to-man?
I think their man-to-man's done a great job the whole game. That's their first foul of the half. The man-to-man allows them to play aggressive defense, which they're all good at playing on the ball, aggressive defense. And they've done a good job of controlling themselves not to foul. And Thomas telling his guys to stay on their feet and not jump too soon, as happened there. And Big Red will come back in the game after the free throw. It is no good by Sturtle. And Horn comes out. Horn left his feet too early on that play and got Sturtle with a body, and that's how Sturtle got to the line. And Thomas is talking it over with him on the sideline. But credit Jamel Horn for imposing his will on both ends of the floor. Second free throw is good by Sturtle. A 41-39 Skipper lead with 10:01 to go in the second half. Kenny brings it up. Kenny, O'Connor, Lopez, Anderson, and Peterson for the Skippers. Alley-oop to Peterson, no good, gets his own rebound short. Gets his own rebound again, no, tipped around. Mayhem on the court. J.O. thought about the three, backed it back up, he'll set things up. Looking to make something happen. Back in the hands of Kenny. And J.O. has a mismatch with Richie on him, he needs to go to the hole. Peterson almost stepped out of bounds, and they call the travel.
To me, it looked like his feet just slipped. It wasn't.
I didn't see a travel on that, but we don't wear the black and white, Chuck.
That is true. That is true. We wear the black and gold.
That's right. Well put. And the Knights trailing by 2 with a chance to tie or take the lead on this possession.
It looks like the Knights are relying too much on Sturtle.
And rebound tipped around. They go to the floor. Should be a jump ball. Nothing. And there's the whistle for the jump ball. Guess who's going to the floor? Dom Anderson, leading the team in tackles.
I think that's 6 tonight.
I think he's going to the Pro Bowl. He's got my vote.
Where would you put him, though?
He's definitely a defensive end.
Definitely.
He could play a linebacker if he has to.
I believe he plays for our football team.
He does. Short by Sturtle. Haven't said that very often. Sturtle has been on target. Still no David Storty. 9:02 to go in the second half. Still no David Storty, so he's MIA for now, but I'm sure he will be back in for the Knights because they need him. An air ball by Furl.
That has to be at least 10 tonight for Dom. We don't have his stats down, but that is truly an impressive rebounding night by Dom.
As he took over the color commentary duties, the Secretary of Stat position is left unfilled, so
I'm not a good multitasker.
it's okay. Guess who is? Brad Peterson. Up and good. He rebounds, he scores, he looks good on the court. Look at the red hair.
Definitely can multitask.
And just like his head, his game is on fire right now. The basket is good. A 4-point lead for the Skippers with 8:20 to go in the second half.
Mason's with 3. I don't think we need to worry, though.
Sturtle does a good job of shooting the 3 and getting to the line. Usually guys who shoot the 3 a lot live out on the perimeter, but Sturtle does a good job of going to the hole when he has to and drawing contact. His first free throw is up and good. And the Skippers cannot go long stretches without Jamel Horn. He's back into the game. They need Horn. It's the one decided advantage they have over the Knights is their ability to bang inside. And Horn is obviously a big part of that. Look who gets the rebound. Jamel Horn. Blair the horn, Chuck.
I'll do that for you, Alex.
And 3-point, 43-40 Skipper lead with 8:08 to go in the game, in the ball game. 8:08 to go.
Cheering from the bench coming from Dom Anderson.
Lopez, no good. And a good rebound by Hornoff. Sturtle looked to travel, somehow got it to go. Thomas wants a timeout. He gets it. The Skipper lead has been shaved to 1 here in the second half. 7:46 to go. And what was a 5-point lead at times is now a 1-point Skipper lead. A full timeout by Aaron Thomas and the Skippers. What do they need to do to push this lead back up to where it was?
Stop Sturtle. There's nights like these where we all have them, where we just hit every shot, we just throw up, and Sturtle seems to be hitting everything. Did you see that shot just a second ago?
Could have been a travel, but nonetheless, a made basket and just a 1-point skipper lead, Chuck.
It's true. I feel
So
that
let's go over some of these stats. Run us down some of the stats right now.
right now our Brad has 9 points and 4 rebounds. Jamel has 12 points, 3 rebounds. Cord, our 5'9" monster, has 3 rebounds.
Attaboy.
Nate's filling up the stats with 4 points. And then we'll look at EWG. We have Sturtle with 19. And then we have Storty with 8. But Storty has not played much, so if he played, we don't know where that number would be.
And look for David Storty to come back in the game after this timeout. They've cut the lead to 1. Storty is standing up on the sideline. I imagine he's coming back in. He has to.
He has 3, right? Or does he have 4?
If he got a 4th foul, I missed it. I am confident he has 3 fouls. He sits back on the bench, though.
That's really surprising because
You would think if he had 3 fouls, he'd be playing. Maybe we missed the 4th foul in there somewhere. I would hate to think we missed something. And a 1-point skipper lead with 7:40 to go here in the game. And back out to Kenny. Kenny will set it up. Good swing pass to Smiley. Back to Peterson. Up and in. The Red Mountain rebound. Getting himself back in the game. A 3-point skipper lead now. Every time the Skippers have needed to push the lead back up they have. They are a resilient ball club. And their bench has really done well. Guys like Anderson and Lopez have done a great job off the bench today.
Anderson's really impressed me tonight. Really impressed me.
He's a warrior.
Yes, he is. He's our linebacker on the team.
And faring a lot better than some of the Warriors did last night for Hawaii, getting crushed by Georgia. So hopefully Dom fills out the Warrior description a little better. Big 3 by Kenny. As I was rambling about Hawaii, Kenny hit a big 3. And the skipper lead, just like that, back up to 6 points. 6:38 to go here.
Ooh.
And they're going to say skipper basketball. Whenever they have had to push the lead, they have done it, Charlie.
Yes, and the sleeve comes back in, a.k.a. Nate Izzo, our defensive
The
specialist.
sleeve will do. Our offensive specialist tonight with 4
At the
points.
moment, 4 points. He's really filling up the stat sheet.
And with no Storty to guard, who's Izzo going to pick up? Sturtle?
Probably Sturtle.
Maybe Furl.
I think that's Sturtle's the most important
Peterson
player
back
right now.
out to Kenny, wanted the 3, thought about it. What a take to the hole, up and in with the left hand.
And just like that, 5 minutes ago, Mason was sitting with 4 points. Right now, he has 11.
Bada bing, bada boom, just like that. A 50-42 skipper lead, 6:09 to go, and a timeout by the Knights. And all of a sudden, right under our noses, now an 8-point skipper lead, Chuck.
They need to bring in Storty. They truthfully need to bring in
If
Storty.
there was ever a time, if he doesn't come in now, why even bother playing the rest of the game?
Just give it up. I mean, Sturtle can only do
Storty will
so
come
much,
back
and he
in.
has a bad ankle. So, if Storty comes in, expect him to get at least 75% of the offensive load.
And Storty will check back in the game here.
So, we'll have the 2 S's on the floor. Do you think they'll bring in the starting lineup, or will they run with the same lineup they have right now?
Well, Furl's the guy who didn't start, who's done a good job. I think you'll see him stay in the game. And, you know, they have to go with their best guys because down by 8, 6 minutes to play on the road, your best players need to be on the court.
I think they
throw foul trouble out the window because it's better to have your best player in the game and foul out than sitting on the bench as your team loses by 10.
I think they need to bring in Mitzman and Hornoff, maybe Harrington, Storty, and Sturtle, just because you got the 2 down low and Harrington can play both.
And the Skippers have more option, more legs down the stretch to rebound, so they're used to this. They're used to, you can have a guy like Anderson come in and bang around, give Peterson and Smiley a rest. So when they need to rebound the basketball late in the game, they can do that. EWG does not have that luxury.
That is
So
true.
bringing a guy like Mitzman, Hornoff, and
David Sheehan. Donald
Sheehan.
Sheehan, excuse me.
David's brother,
David, obviously.
David's long-lost cousin. And Sturtle controlling the
And
point.
Storty is in.
O'Connor on him. Storty in the game, Izzo on him. Let's see how Izzo's legs hold up. I'm sure they'll be fine late in the game. But Izzo's going to need to stay with Storty, a fresh David Storty, who's had over 10 minutes of rest. No good. Good rebound by Horn.
I don't know about this stat, but to me, Teddy's...
And the shot clock buzzer went on for about 10 seconds, but we got that problem cleared up. Kenny unfazed, bringing the ball up by 8.
Teddy Stanford looks taller than 6'1".
And they call a travel on Big Red before he was able to get the shot up.
Do you agree with me that Teddy Stanford right now looks taller than 6'1"? I think he looks at least 6'2", 6'3" compared to the rest of the guys. Look, standing right next to Brad, they look like they're...
You're right. And they tend to give people a couple inches, but in this case, maybe Stanford got slighted. Rare. Usually when a guy's 6'1", they have him listed at 6'10", Chuck. But in this case...
What are you listed in?
Collected by... Great pass by J.O. And Kenny's fouled. When J.O. throws that hover pass, look out, UFO's in sight.
That is true.
Get out of the way.
There's times like these where you figure out who really is the X factor on our team. And within the past 6 to 7 minutes, Mason has really done a lot to get back in this game by scoring the important baskets that we need.
Well, Mason Kenny is obviously your go-to guy, but I think this team's ability to play as a team is the X factor, and just the fact that this is a team.
That is true, but nights like these where the team can't really finish, you need that one player to step up.
I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be Mason Kenny.
That is true.
Look at look at his point total, just climbing.
It's now at 12, which was once at 4.
He was at 2 at halftime.
Yes, he was.
A travel by Storty.
Storty just looks flustered tonight.
And maybe it's the foul trouble, maybe it was the Christmas break, but David Storty looks a little bit off.
Still looks the same when we were 12. Said he still looks the same when we were 12.
He does. Growing a few inches, but he still has that same face. Still just as... I was scared as heck of him when I played against him. My spot on the end of the bench.
Me and you, baby.
He was Goliath. Up and in by Izzo.
That is an impressive 6 points tonight for Nate Izzo.
And all kidding aside, Nate Izzo doing a great job on the offensive and defensive end tonight. Really filling out his role as captain. And just like that, an 11-point skipper lead out of nowhere. 4:34 to go in the game. And we are almost in cruise control territory, Chuck.
I feel that the skippers are really doing a lot, even with Storty on the court.
And credit Izzo doing a great job on Storty.
Yes, he is. He's really shutting him down and drew the 3 fouls that really affected him.
And J.O. giving the skipper some real valuable minutes tonight handling the basketball. He got hit hard.
Looked like a foul to me.
Horn got hit hard, but guess what? Big Red there to clear it up. Nothing will stop the Red Mountain rebound.
Even a quiet night, Brad is really on the board. That's 6 tonight.
No such thing as a quiet night for the Red Mound.
It's true, he has red hair.
Good observation, Charlie. What would we do without you?
I want to go back to the stats next game.
You will be sorely missed. It's been a pleasure. What a take by Sturtle. Sturtle is the real deal.
There's been rumors that he has many D2 offers, so does Storty, but tonight I can definitely say that Sturtle is definitely a D2 product. Maybe even low D1, like the Monmouths and stuff.
I don't see him as a low D1, but I could see him more playing a low D2 basketball.
Low D2?
I think he's too small.
Well, you could say he could go to D3 and really shine.
Something similar to what Mason looks to do at Salve Regina.
That is true. If Mason goes to Salve, he will really shine there.
Yeah, Mason has the chance to dominate Division III basketball if he goes to a school that's the right fit.
Do you think Sturtle could play at Bryant?
I think Bryant's a stretch. You look at Bryant's a school that during what will be theoretically Sturtle's senior year in college would be their first year in Division I.
Yeah, but by that time they will be playing the D1 opponent, so Sturtle will improve.
I think he's too small.
Too small.
I think we're jumping the gun here. You can't gauge what you see in a high school game to how he's going to necessarily play. I don't think you can say what he does tonight is going to attribute to him being a Division I college basketball player. He's hit some threes. A big part of his point total is he hit a few threes early. Anybody can hit a few threes early.
That is true, and we all playing Rhode Island basketball.
Not to knock Rhode Island basketball, but in the grand scheme of things, in the grand scheme of recruiting, one game in high school that we've seen I don't think you can quantify him as a Division I basketball player.
That is true.
I think it's jumping the gun a little bit. He's no knock on Sturtle. He's a talent.
Yeah, he's a great player.
I think D2 is a little more of a realistic goal. He's a great basketball player. I think Mason's a D2 talent.
I think the thing that hurts Mason the most is his size.
I think Jamel Horn will be a D2 talent.
See,
at least.
Jamel needs to float out at least 4 to 5 more feet, and he'll be
If Horn can develop a mid-range jump shot,
he'll be dangerous.
look, if he can develop a 3-point jump shot, the sky is the limit.
Oh,
for a kid with that kind of hops and athletic ability.
I'll travel on JL.
And JL's lucky he didn't get teed up. He flung the ball over his shoulder, and Peterson caught it. But if that ball had gone down the court, possibly technical for O'Connor.
If Jamel develops that 3-point shot, he has D1 in his sights definitely, because
definitely has good blood.
Yes, he could play at a mid-major D1 school.
We'll see. See if he can develop similar to our pal Jeff Holmes. Not quite as big, but Holmes took his game out a little bit. Deep 3 by Sturtle, no good. Rebound.
Brad.
Peterson lost out of bounds. We'll see. The whole college recruiting process is kind of a crapshoot.
We really can't say anything. I mean, what we see,
it's all speculation.
We don't see the California kids in
baseball pass to O'Connor. J.O.'s got it. Shakes Storty. Oh! The crowd went to their feet in anticipation of a Horn throwdown, and he was fouled.
That could have been possibly Storty's 4th, but right now I don't think that's much of a factor.
At this point, you might as well have him in there getting fouls instead of sitting on the bench.
Oh, excuse me.
They give it to Teddy.
I still think that he doesn't. He looks at least 6'2", 6'3" to me.
Yeah, maybe he's grown since this program was printed.
This morning.
Must have eaten his Wheaties. You must have eaten your Wheaties too.
I'm more of a Captain
biceps
Crunch
are looking
guy.
Big. Oh, you're more of a Captain Crunch guy?
Yeah.
Nonetheless, the biceps are looking big. You're filling out that sweatshirt real nice.
Yeah, thank you. Helps with javelin.
And a Charlie Marshall personal plug. What do you know?
Oh, great rebound by Izzo.
But while we're on the personal plug thing, you are 3rd in the state in javelin going into the season, so maybe I'll get to commentate some javelin meets this year.
That'd be interesting. I'd enjoy that. Are you still pursuing your tennis career?
The time being, tennis is on a break. Focusing on broadcasting full time.
Hopefully I'll see you 10 years down the line as a Sports Center guy.
Hopefully I'll bring you along.
Oh.
I'll remember the little people.
Stuart, Scott, and Dan Patrick. Charlie Marshall and Alex Issa. Storty with another.
That's the dream. Just living the dream, baby. One day at a time. And the skipper bench looks to be in good spirits. Lots of laughter going around, and this team is hot.
They definitely are. I definitely think, even though it probably hurt them tonight, that Oyster River tournament definitely helped them.
Initially, we thought it might hurt them because their offense looked sloppy, but once they got their legs back under them, same old skipper offense. Good move by Peterson up and in. That's a big-time move by Peterson. Talk about a kid coming a long way in a year. That move was not in the arsenal last year.
No, it was not. I believe Sturtle's trying to do too much right now.
Sturtle needs to shoot the basketball at this point. 2:30 to go. You don't need to cross anybody up. Shoot the basketball. It's what you're best at. A 10-point, 57-47 skipper lead with 2:25 to go in the game.
So what do you think are NK's odds this year in the state title race? I mean,
well, they've definitely looked good early. I mean, if they hold on here, they're going to be undefeated in Division I. And, you know, it's hard to speculate.
That's true. Hendricken.
Just like with the recruiting thing, you can't speculate until you've played everybody. Until we see everybody, it's tough to see where they fit in. I mean, obviously they're going to be a contender. They were a contender last year, and they're definitely a better ball club this year. So I would say the sky is the limit. But you know what? I want to see it with my own eyes. Nice take by Sturtle. No good. Bad roll. And Peterson throwing his weight around. Good rebound by Red. Kenny looking to push. Shakes 2 defenders. He gets bumped by Lennon. And Kenny will go to the line for 1-1 with a 10-point, 57-47 skipper lead with 2:08 to go in the ballgame.
The only problem with our small state is that we do have 4 divisions of basketball.
It's true.
And you have to look at the dangerous teams. You have to look at Feinstein and Rogers. Rogers beat us a couple weeks ago.
There are at least those 2 Division II teams who seemed like they could definitely compete in Division I. We saw Rogers come in here and beat the Skippers team.
That is true. And that all I've heard, haven't seen Feinstein play, but all I've heard is that they are absolutely unstoppable. They are just too athletic.
I've heard only the best about Jarrell Gomes, who is almost certainly a Division I player at this point.
I've heard.
Due to the pass-fail system at Feinstein, he will not be able, most likely, to go to a D1 college right away. But look for a kid of that talent to go to prep school, which will probably benefit him in the long run. He gets to go to prep school to get legitimate grades, and he'll probably get better as a basketball player.
Yeah, prep school is definitely better competition than at Rhode Island.
And there's your boy Harrington, cutting the skipper lead at 10, but looks to be too little too late.
Still think Furl has a little bit more.
At this point, it doesn't matter because the skippers had the most.
That is true.
A 10-point skipper lead, a balanced offensive and defensive attack, holding this explosive Knights offense to just 49 points so far with 1:37 to go. And credit Nate Izzo doing a great job on the Knights star, David Storty. Nice take by Kenny with the left hand.
The start of the second half, he has 2. Right now, he's sitting on 16.
Good players accumulate points one way or another. We talked about that. They heard that one back in Exeter. But
They probably even heard that one at Feinstein.
where Jarrell Gomes and company are, who knows what, maybe a game tonight, maybe practicing. And a 61-49 skipper lead with 1:13 to go. Storty's first free throw is no good, and it's all about body language at this point. And a timeout taken by the Scarlet Knights here. 12 points, 61-49 skipper lead with just over a minute to go in the ballgame.
Actually, Alex, that's a timeout. Oh, really? Is there only a minute left?
Just over a minute
Oh, wow.
left. Thank you.
I'm
I
sorry.
appreciate it, but I'm on top of it.
I'm
Got it.
sorry,
It's
Alex.
okay.
I'm used to being the stat guy.
It's okay. You're doing a good job. You've done stats today as well. And Peterson, right now, we won't reveal our player of the game to you quite yet, but a little tease to stay tuned. It's going to be Brad Peterson or Mason Kenny. So stay on the edge of your seats, and we'll be back with the Secretary of Stat, not Condoleezza Rice, Charlie Marshall, with his player of the game. And so you can stick around for the NK18 Skipper Sports Network postgame show. And we will have the player of the game right here.
I will be awarding the player of the game after the final
Buzzer sounds.
buzzer sounds. Right now, our 2 candidates are Mason and Brad. Mason really having a great second half, but Brad just...
But Brett, we talked about how it's going to come down to who rebounds the basketball, and Peterson has definitely done that. He kept the Skippers in the game.
He has 8.
He allowed them to push the lead when they had to, and you cannot overlook that.
I mean, 8 rebounds. Truthfully, that was the most quiet 8 rebounds I've ever seen.
It was. It's because Peterson has a knack for the ball. Guys like that, good rebounders, find the basketball. I'm not saying he's Dennis Rodman.
Oh, God. But
Is
he's the
anybody.
Red Mountain of rebound.
Right. I don't think he wants to be Dennis Rodman. Similar hair.
Similar hair, yes.
And Storty's free throw is good. Yep, and good job by the NK coaching staff pointing out that the first free throw had been taken before the timeout. So Storty's second free throw is good. Cuts the skipper lead to 11. Up ahead to Kenny, all alone. Up and in. And a 63-50 skipper lead here. All but over. Up ahead to Kenny again. Nice take by Kenny.
That hits the 20 mark for Mace.
Cirque du Soleil acrobatic move there for Kenny.
Cirque du Soleil. Did you learn that in French
Give that
class?
kid a tightrope. I'm just a knowledge, cultural individual, just like yourself.
Thank you, my friend.
Give me a beret and a croissant. Let's go travel somewhere.
It's going to be a hard one to determine because Mason right now is sitting on 20.
That's why they pay you the big bucks there, Charlie. Make the big decisions.
Make the big decisions.
A little bit of the Scotty voice right there. You're bringing me back. A little
Yeah,
nostalgia.
we're all missing him. We're all missing him.
I'm sure he's at home. Hopefully he's feeling a lot better. Drinking that hot cocoa and sipping on that hot chicken noodle soup. And, you know, Scotty Andrews doesn't miss school unless he's really sick. You know he's sick.
Yes, I'm not.
He lives for everything Skippers, so you know he would not miss this unless he had a very valid reason.
I never will
Kenny's
replace
free
Scotty,
throw is
but
good.
I'm doing my very best to be Scotty Andrews.
That's right. It's like Scotty and his idol Dick Vitale both had action right now with sicknesses. So Scotty's not quite as severe, but they'll both be back in the saddle soon.
Dick Vitale sitting out with vocal cord surgery very
Till
recently.
February.
Yes.
And they'll need his voice back for March Madness.
What did he just say to
Mason
us?
Kenny wants some love, and maybe if he plays his cards right, Charlie will, wow. Storty almost tip slamming that ball, but no good. And the NK fans showing their disgust. That was just ugly.
New people in the ball game. Ryan, Tim Quimo.
Oh, trying to get the dunk for Horn. Up to Eaton, up and in for Ryan Eaton. And a 17-point skipper lead. And the Christmas spirit is held on for a little bit. It's a jolly mood here in Lenore Cranston Gymnasium as time ticks down here. 5 seconds to go with a 69-54 skipper victory in hand, and the buzzer sounds. And a solid
That was a very impressive win.